Have you ever wondered why some people seem to glide through life as if supported by an invisible hand, while you feel like you're constantly crashing into an invisible wall? Have you ever stared at the ceiling in the dead of night, questioning why the universe ignores your deepest desires, your dreams, and your most innocent requests? It feels as if you are behind a thick sheet of glass. You shout, you wave, you pray, and you plead, but from the other side, from that divine mechanism, there is total silence. No matter how hard you struggle, the external reality remains unchanged. The same cycles, the same lack of resources, the same loneliness, the same gnawing feeling of dissatisfaction. But what if I told you that the universe, or what Carl Jung called the collective unconscious, is not ignoring you? That massive system, that divine order, is not deaf to your pleas. The problem isn't that your voice isn't loud enough. The problem is that you aren't speaking the language of the system. Today, we aren't here for shallow, positive thinking or good vibes talk. I am going to hand you the key to those locked doors. This method is as certain as the ancient alchemists turning lead into gold. It is as infallible as the law of gravity. This is the intersection of the human soul and universal laws, the very point Carl Jung studied for years in his stone tower on the shores of Lake Zurich. When you adjust your internal world to this frequency, the doors you thought were locked will creak open, opportunities will sprout like mushrooms after rain, and your desires will manifest in the physical world with terrifying speed. Most of us were taught to ask incorrectly. We were programmed from childhood to beg, to plead from a place of helplessness. We ask from a scarcity consciousness. But Jung's work and the universal laws whisper a sharper truth. The universe does not respond to your helplessness, your desperation, or the void that screams, "I need." The universe responds to certainty. It responds to clarity, to posture, and to internal integrity. To hope is a polite way of saying, "I don't have it." To beg is to say, "I am not worthy of this, but please give it to me anyway." The universe receives these frequencies and reflects them back to you. More lack, more waiting. But by the end of this journey, you will learn a form of communication where a response isn't just a possibility, it's a guarantee. You will discover the secret formula used by history's greatest leaders, artists, and those wise souls who completed what Jung called the individuation process. It's an energetic alignment. When you apply it, you'll see signs you can't call coincidences. A phone will ring, a long-lost contact will appear, a book will fall from a shelf with the exact answer you needed. But there is a trap. If you don't understand the laws, you fail. The universe, like thermodynamics, follows rules. If you step off a 10-story building, gravity doesn't care if you're a good person or how much you prayed. It just functions. If you do not turn the unconscious into conscious, as Jung said, these laws work against you, and you will call it fate. Think of life as a cosmic restaurant. You walk in, and the waiter, the creative power of the universe, asks, "What would you like?" If you say, "I want food," the waiter is confused. What kind? Spicy, sweet, hot? If you insist on just anything, you might get yesterday's stale soup. Clarity is the requirement for satisfaction. If you say, "I want a medium rare steak with asparagus and a specific sauce," the entire kitchen works for you. "I want to be happy," or "I need more money," are empty, low-energy phrases. The universe might send you a penny or a butterfly and consider the request fulfilled. Magic begins when you become a laser. Instead of "I want to be rich," say, "I am earning $10,000 a month by adding value through my talents, and I manage this wealth with peace." That is a command. That is an alignment. Jung always asked his patients for the finest details of their dreams, because detail shows where the light of consciousness is hitting. Detail is where energy flows. But niyat, intention, is just turning the key. To move the car, you need fuel, in motion, emotion, or energy in motion. You can feel the tension in a room before anyone speaks. That's because emotions are radio waves. The universe doesn't listen to the sound of your voice. It listens to the vibration of your heart. You can write, "I am successful" 1,000 times, but if there is a knot of fear in your stomach saying, "Who am I to want this?" the universe listens to the fear. Jung called this the shadow. If your shadow calls for darkness while your consciousness asks for light, the shadow wins, because the power of the unconscious is vastly superior. Desperation is the energy of "I don't have," and lack attracts lack. But when you adjust your emotions to a future reality that hasn't happened yet, miracles become standard operation. Do not wait for the bank account to change to feel wealthy. Feel the abundance, the generosity, and the comfort now. Even with $5 in your pocket, carry the internal posture of an emperor. If you want love, don't wait for a partner to feel loved. Open the fountain of love within yourself first. When you radiate the frequency of "I am loved," The universe has no choice but to reflect that reality back to you. This is the mirror rule. Your mind, that magnificent biological computer, does not know the difference between imagination and reality. Neurological research on athletes proves that when an athlete visualizes a race, the same neurons fire as if they were actually running. The body thinks the dream is real. So why wait? Step into the version of you that already has what you want. How does that version walk? How do they drink their coffee? You aren't acting, you are becoming. Every masterpiece, from Tesla's alternating current to Sinan's mosques, existed as a mental image before it became physical. This is active imagination. To do this effectively, find a silent corner. Close your eyes. Create a high-definition mental movie. Don't watch it as a spectator. See it through your own eyes. What do you smell? The leather of a new car? The perfume of a lover? What do you hear? Adding senses makes it real for the unconscious. Then trigger the emotion. Feel the heart-pounding joy of "I did it." Experience it as happening now, not in the future. But if you hear that whispering doubt, "This is impossible," realize that these are limiting beliefs, or Jungian complexes. They are mental bars installed by society, parents, or past failures. They aren't yours. Challenge them. When your mind says you aren't capable, roar back. Success is my natural state. Character changes fate. Finally, we reach the rocket fuel. Gratitude. Not a dry thank you, but a magical key that turns lack into plenty. Most people say, "I'll be grateful when I get the car." No, be grateful first. Write down things you are grateful for as if they have already arrived. I am so grateful for this career that fulfills me. This breaks the perception of time. But remember, Jung emphasized that you are what you do. Inspired action is required. The universe opens the door, but you must walk through it. If you want financial freedom, study finance. If you want love, be the best version of yourself. Opportunities don't usually come with a roar. They come as gentle nudges, a sudden idea, a person to call. That is the self speaking to you. Trust the process. This is the hardest part. Surrender. We want things instantly, but the universe works on a divine timeline, not your ego's calendar. If you plant a seed, you don't dig it up every day to see if it's growing. You water it and trust the potential inside. Put out your intention, take your inspired actions, and then let go of the how and when. When you trust the great intelligence, it has no choice but to bring you what you desire, or something even better. Everything you want is within reach. You just need to align your frequency. We have spoken of the power of intention, Jungian visualization, the elevation of gratitude, and clearing the shadow. Now, the ball is in your court. To manifest is not just to know these principles, but to live them. Start today. Define what you want with crystal clarity. Feel it in your marrow as if it's already yours. The universe always responds to your energy. When you merge with your desire runs towards you. If you felt a spark in these words, share your energy by liking this video and declare what you are manifesting in the comments. Words or spells. Writing them seals the contract. Leave the number 777 in the comments as your first statement of intent. Don't forget to subscribe for more deep insights into Jungian psychology and the mechanics of reality. Until next time, stay in your own light.